Hello everyone, it's Manu from Manipulation Vlogs. Welcome to another video. Today we are going to be talking about how to increase your learning capacity and to increase the amount of stuff you learn in a shorter period of time, and we are starting right now. Don't worry about short breaks or distractions while you're studying. Scientists have proven that an average person's attention span is approximately 30 to 40 minutes, 50 to 60 if you really push it. After that, the human brain isn't really geared towards absorbing and getting a lot more information into it. What is a way in which you can increase the amount of time in which you study each day, is simply to take short breaks. Taking short breaks, approximately 10 to 15 minutes between an hour study session, you can have up to 5 study sessions in that day. And because of your breaks, your attention span is reset each time, and you get and absorb much more from those study sessions than you would do if you just do it in one whole long 5-hour study session in that day. And believe me, it's going to be much more tolerable to study in 5 different sessions than to study at one go for 5 hours. So here's tip number 2. Get a good night's sleep. One cannot emphasize enough how important a good night's sleep is. And I'm talking about 7 to 8 hours. 7 hours, you should keep it as the average, 8 hours when you get a good night's sleep. So now vary your sleep timings. If you do better in the morning, then study in the morning. If you do better while studying at night, then study into the night. If you're trying to learn facts, according to me, I study in the morning. This is because in the morning, everything is quiet, and that is the time when you are at your top energy level, where you can dedicate all your time to your studying. And sleep best consolidates all the motor skills and the brain functions which help you study and absorb information. Therefore, it is really important to get a good night's sleep. So now if you're wondering whether these tips actually work, I can tell you for a fact that they do. I scored an 800 on the math section of the SAT using these very tips. So don't forget, hit the subscribe button down below and hit the like button down below, and let's go on to the next tip. So tip number 3, space your study time. Instead of doing 8 hours of study just before the exams, space it off a few days. And if you have only 7 days till the exams, in each day take breaks. And I do not say take long breaks, take small and efficient breaks in the middle of an hour or 1.5 hours of study. And if you're able to break it into these different sections of 45 minutes to an hour and a half each, you will get a lot more work done and you will be super productive in those study sessions. So, tip number 4. Now this is simple. Cramming only works for that exam. If you actually want to retain information, you have to study that over a long period of time. And by long, I mean at least a week or 2. And if this is a very huge test you're studying for, then obviously that time goes up. Now, you cannot study everything the night before or 3 nights before the exam. You need to spread it across a good amount of long time. And you study it across the time, you will retain a lot of information and you will not make mistakes on the actual exam day. So guys, now it's tip number 5, and this is the most important tip. Use self-testing. Now, without testing yourself at regular intervals, you will never know at what level of proficiency you are at. Now, you could be at a very high level of proficiency in one small section of that subject, but at a low level in another. And the only way you will be able to find this out is via self-testing. And take a few worksheets out. On almost every subject, there are worksheets and there are small tests which you can use to self-test yourself. Sit at home, take an hour or 2 out of your time, out of your study time, and actually take a test. Review your mistakes and see in what places you have to devote more time and what places you need to revise. Now this is going to be a super important tip when you are going to be studying for any exam. So the next tip, take notes in class and review them. Don't be a passive listener in class. That doesn't help that much. And do not take notes verbatim and just look over them. Take notes in your own words, what you understood from that class. And that will really help to reinforce your memory and reinforce that learning of that subject in your mind. Now, be an active note taker. Take notes in your own way. You don't have to follow some template which someone gives you. Take notes in your own way. If you want to make it artistic, go forward. If you want to make it plain and proper and neat, you can do that as well. So let's go on to the next tip. So here is the final superb tip. Create learning sessions where you mix knowledge areas or skills. Now when you focus on learning one subject at a time, it's the fastest way to acquire information, but it can put an upper limit to your learning. Now mixing in knowledge areas into different learning sessions are really useful. For example, first working on maths, then going on to history, then going on to chemistry. This is going to be increasing exponentially the amount of information you can absorb into your brain. As in a single learning session, there's only a certain amount of information you can grasp. But when you're going at different chapters, rather different subjects, you are able to grasp a lot more and you can absorb much more information than you would be able to if you were learning only one subject for a long period of time. So that's the end of all these tips to increase your learning capacity and how you learn. If you have liked this video, hit the like button down below. Be sure to subscribe and share this video with all of your friends. I will see you in my next video.